guys, welcome back. Yeah. Ew, what was that? Okay, so a few things that are a little bit different in this video. Number one, no mic, because my phone is dying and it needs to charge, but I need to film this video right now. Number two, nothing has changed. I forgot to put on lip gloss before filming, but I don't feel like getting up today. I had a busy day today. I went to my niece's birthday party. She turned 2 years of age. I'm gonna go through this February wrap up just real quick, hopefully, but guess who? I read 7 books and DNF 1 book, so I'm pretty proud that I was able to DNF a book. Let's go through what I have read. I had 2 5 stars, 2 3 stars, and 3 4 stars with 1 DNF. And I didn't rate that one because I will tell you that it wasn't really my thing, so I didn't DNF because I was like offended or anything. I DNF because I was like, I'm not into this, and I feel like you have to be interested or like into what happened in order to correctly judge. The first book that I read in February, I read this for my 24-hour readathon, Lights by Brenna Thomer. This is the final installment of the Sheets trilogy. Wendell died far too young, and he wants to discover who he was in his life when he was alive, because he doesn't really remember anything, and the gals and him investigate. And okay, so work. I thought that this book was going to make me cry. I thought it was going to make me much sadder than I was when reading it, but I thought it was just okay. It was my least favorite, with least favorite being 4 stars, so that's not bad at all. I just wish that I liked it more. And I would like to say to Brenna, chop chop, ghost girl, we need some more books, please. Next book I read was We Spread by Ian Reed, and I do apologize to the viewers and the audience at this moment. I rated that at 3 stars because I thought it was fine. Like, okay, Penny is an older lady who is an artist, and she's lived in the same place for like decades. Her longtime partner passed away, like, I don't know, like 10 years ago or something like that. Penny has had several incidents, and it's just been one too many incidents, so she is shipped off to a long-term care facility that was set up for her to go when she gets to this point. Once she's there, the days start to blur together, and she's like, the vibe is off, like, what is going on here? And she starts to distrust like everyone involved. And that's one of my biggest fears, is that when I'm older, I am going to be like Delulu and not realize what is actually going on. It just scares me, but this book scared me about that. But then like the twist and everything, and it was just a very okay book to me. Like, I wasn't crazy about it. I didn't hate it. I felt very neutral about it. Did I say? I think I said that I gave that 3 stars. So I gave that 3 stars. The book I DNF'd, The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson. And listen, I did not want to DNF this book. I did not want to DNF it because this was for the Accidentally Yours book club with Bestie Matt from Maddy Moon's library. Yeah, slay queen. If you guys don't subscribe to her, I don't know what you're doing. Like, literally, go subscribe. Like, it's a button that you press, and you are a part of this life forever. The Fake Mate is about 2 wolf shifters who decide to fake date and fake mate. If you understand, you understand. I didn't when going in, but I get it now. They are also doctors who are also shifters. So Mackenzie, she's had some terrible experience with blind dates. She's constantly getting set up by her grandmother on these blind dates that never go well for her, and she's just sick of it. Like, she's run into like creeps who are like, are you gonna keep like certain parts of your wolf self on when we do the spicy times. And she's like, no, actually I prefer not to like do these dates anymore. Like I'm tired out. Like give me a break, grandma. And so she's on the phone with her grandma, and then grandma is like, oh, I have this date for you set up. Mackenzie is like, actually, I'm seeing someone, low-key seeing someone, and we had to keep it a secret. And the grandma's like, oh my god, who? In comes grumpy cardiologist Noah Taylor, and she immediately says his name. Noah agrees to fake date Mackenzie because he has been keeping a secret that he is an alpha Omegaverse. I don't really know how that Omegaverse works, but he's an alpha, and alphas are not supposed to be doctors because they can be aggressive. Okay, work. He tells Mackenzie, oh, like, I will fake date you if you fake mate me. And that's supposed to make the situation better for him at work or something. I wasn't really following that part because I was a little bit confused. I was just like stuck on the part like, okay, like, I thought that being alpha and omega is something that you choose to be, not that you are born as one. There was this one certain point where I was like, okay, actually I cannot go on as a person who is a lesbian woman. I cannot read this. But that's how I felt. I don't know even how to explain without saying. And this is just how I felt reading it. I'm sure there are lesbians out there who love this book 10 out of 10, 5 stars. Okay, period. Myself was not the one of them. I was like, okay, I gotta go. I can't do this right now. So I DNF'd it, like hard DNF, period. Okay, what would have saved this for me is that I would have really loved to see more of the work drama and less of the naughty. For the fourth book that I have, 4? Are you for serious? Maybe I didn't read 7 books. Anyway, the 4th book that I read was Aragon. And Aragon is about a boy whose name is, can you guess what his name is? Aragon. So he finds a stone in the forest, and it's like shiny, and I think it's pale blue is what is described as. And he's thinking, Queen, I could sell this and buy my family meat because I'm not trying to go hungry. He then finds out that it's not a stone, just like a pretty stone that he can sell. It's a dragon egg. And overnight he gets thrust into an adventure upon discovering this egg. I felt like the pacing was a bit off. I felt like we were in one place for so long and then in another place like went by like that. Like I remember there was one scene in this tavern and they were talking to this guy. I don't remember like off the top of my head who this guy was, but he was like, they were like talking to this guy and then he sipped his drink and then it went to, they were immediately doing something else. The dragon, she freaking slayed, but to me, the narrator's voice in the audio was not giving the dragon. I rated that 3 stars. Read in the graphic novel by Will McPhail. Okay, so Maddy from Asked by Maddy here on YouTube discovered this book. And when she went to the library, she was just browsing, and then it changed her life. And so I was like, okay, period, I would like my life to be changed as well. And she needed someone to talk to it about, and I was like, period, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And so it's a graphic novel. It was like 200 pages. It was a very quick read. It took me like less than an hour maybe. I went to this knowing absolutely nothing, so I kind of suggest you guys do that too, but I will try to say a little bit. Okay. Nick feels like there is more to the human experience than dull, similar coffee shops, and once he finds a hint of what he's looking for, he longs for more. Period. And so I actually am going to talk about this more in a coming up video. Just know that at first I rated this 4 stars, but now I'm like, oh my god, first of all, this is giving 5 stars to me because I keep thinking about it, and then the thoughts that I'm having after reading this book, I'm like, okay, like, I don't understand how someone came up with that. Like, you are a genius, Mr. Will. Anyway, so the next book that I read was The Bandit Queens, and I read this for the Women's Wrong Support Group, which is my book club, by Parini Sharaf, I believe is how you say the author's name. And so Geeta's trash husband disappeared about like 5 years ago, and everyone thinks that she is the one who killed him. But like, being a widow is like looking kind of nice on the outside for these other women, but like on the inside she's like struggling or whatever. And she has been she feels like she has been secluded from society and from like the married women with their get-togethers and hangouts, until one day they start asking for help in getting rid of their trash husbands. This was a little bit ridiculous. Obviously, it was like a book, but it was believable. And that's what I really liked to see, because I feel like I could see this being a Netflix series that people would really enjoy. It was just one of those things, like, I'm trying to think of a show to compare it to. But the book that most reminded me of this was Dial A for Aunties. Specifically the first book, Anne Finley Donovan. It's just like these characters get themselves into situations, and what are they doing? Why are they doing that? And that's just so funny. Yeah, so this to me was like a cozy thriller mystery. I guess I rated it 4.5 stars. And then the last book I read is In My Dream I Hold the Knife, which is about Ashley, Kirsten, Jessica. That's what her name is. It's about Jessica, who has her college reunion, and she goes back to college, and then in the past someone has died. But who actually killed her, and why did they do it? And so in the present we are figuring that out, and I'm going to talk about this more in another video I have coming up. I think that's all of the books that I have read. I kind of didn't write them down. I was like, okay, we're gonna be winging this wrap up like the improv queen that we are. If I missed any of the books that I read in February, I'll just put it in my March wrap up. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, put your favorite color heart emoji. Your favorite color in a heart emoji form. And thanks for being my bestie booze with me for about 15 minutes and forever. Duh, join the Discord. Don't know what else to say. Goodbye.